last year that you've been in the program, where do you feel like you've improved the most? What's your growth been like in your time at Georgia?
I'd say being coachable and being where the team needs me. For example, I'd say just being a player to catch the ball, being more confident, and getting yacked after the ball. So.
Yeah, to kind of follow up on that a little bit, I know you played kind of all over the offense in high school. Just what has the transition been like over the past year and a half of being exclusively a receiver, and what have the challenges of that been for you?
So in high school, I didn't really play wide receiver, so it's been very physical, very competitive. I say that for sure. When it gets to DBs that we have every day, so I say that's been the biggest change so far. So.
Kirby talked about getting Marcus back in the comfort that he adds to the huddle. Just you as his position mate, what does that do for you getting him back in the lineup?
Just learning from him, because all my freshman year I learned from him and AD, so that's been the main thing for sure. So.
Yeah, could you just talk about coaching or playing for BMAC and what it's like playing for Coach Clement?
It's very funny. That's one of the coolest guys I know. I love him, so he makes sure that I'm supposed to do what I'm supposed to do on the field, on and off the field. So, yeah, very good guy. So,
yeah. Yeah, you came in with C.J. Smith. What have you seen out of him this offseason, and it's sort of allowed him to get to a point where he can contribute to this team now?
Oh, so C.J. is my roommate. So he's been putting a lot of work. When we don't have practice, we always running heels or doing the jugs. So he's definitely earned everything that's coming his way. So, yeah, very good guy.
Yeah, you talked about improving at being coachable. I guess one, how much did you really have to work at that when you first got here, and how much did that allow you to kind of carve out a role for yourself last year as a freshman?
Can you repeat that again?
Yeah, when you talk about improving at being coachable, how much did you have to work at that when you first got to campus, and then how much did it allow you to carve out a role as a freshman last year?
So I'll say everything's very fast-paced here. It's a big switch from high school, especially with the heat. So just having the heat and then your coach making getting on your tail and stuff like that, it helped me a lot, especially when it came to like big moments last year in the game, So it's basically like not letting the moment get too big when all the pressure's on and everything like that. So.
Dillon, what do you think the mindset is of this team heading into week 2? After your week 1 showing, obviously you guys got a big win, but probably some areas you want to get better at.
I definitely say connection and composure for sure. We always talk about that. That's one of our team goals that we want to do. So I say that for sure.
Dillon, Kai Muse made a lot of plays out there last week. What can you say about sort of the rise he's had on this team and what you expect from him going forward after throughout the season?
There's one thing that I like to tell him, and that is God did. When I first got here, he always been like one of those dudes. I'm like, who is this guy? And he's just he's a special player. He definitely deserves everything. When he scored the touchdown, you see I was right there. I was, giving him all the hype and stuff. So. Yeah, he deserves everything. One of the hardest working guys I know for sure. So.
Yeah, Carson told us he was a little nervous making that first start. What have you seen from him in practice this week as he seems to have now sort of gotten his feet down under him and knows that, the rhythms that come with being a starting quarterback?
Carson is Carson. He's going to be that guy for sure, He has his confidence, once he's rolling, he's rolling. So I say that for sure.
Dillon, last year, did you have a welcome to Georgia moment, something that happened in practice or anything like that? It was like, all right, it's a little bit different than high school.
Okay, I'll say it was against Kent State. I was on KOR, and I got beat every single play. Like every single KOR rep, I got beat. I was supposed to deadbolt, and coming to do film that Monday was very bad. So I'll say that for sure.
Is there a moment as a young player where being coached hard feels a little different? I don't know what your background was as a high school football player, but seemed to be coached really, really hard here at the University of Georgia. What's the key to taking coaching, I guess?
I'll say just learning. You're gonna get developed. That's one of the things. That's my goal for this week. I have goals for myself, and that's my main goal this week is to just be developed. And once you be developed, you're gonna play without thinking, and then you'll make plays. So.
Dillon, we've seen you back there with kickoff returns some. In your mind, what is the key to being a good kickoff returner and being a weapon in that area of the game?
I'll say vision and just hitting the hole. That's what Coach Cox said. You hit the hole, you'll make a play. So I say that.
When you say your goal for this week is being developed, what does accomplishing that goal look like? How will you know that you have been developed?
So far, my for development is like blocking for me. Coach B-Man has been on my televised every day at practice, and it's been working so far. You know, I've been doing what I'm supposed to do, and hopefully you'll see it in the game against Ball State this week.
Yeah, talking specifically about Marcus, what were some of the things in particular you learned from him last year? You're trying to come in and learn the ropes year one.
I'll say definitely catching the traffic and releases for sure. I learned a lot about his releases and learning how to catch the ball even when the defender is on you for sure. So, and coming back negative to the ball when running routes. So.
What led you from Texas to here? What was the connection, the pull to Georgia?
AD Mitchell and the coaching staff for sure. But AD, we went to the same middle school, and I used to train with him in high school as well. So he always been a guy I looked up to from a young age. So I definitely say that for sure. So
That's a pretty easy follow-up here. What did his departure from this program mean?
it meant a lot. You know, that was like my best friend here my freshman year. I was like, dang, you know, it was very saddening. You know, I was with him before he left for like a long time. We were just talking and chopping it up. But I know he's gonna do good things at Texas. So.
Did AD try to get you to go with him to Texas? First question. Second, were there some discussions of you playing running back when y'all got real thin there during camp for a while?
All right, to answer the first question, no, sir, he didn't really try, you know. He didn't try, and I'm just going to play wherever the team needs me. If Coach Smart or Coach McGee asks me to go, then I'll do that. I'll do whatever they need me to do, so.
Did you ever go over there? Did you ever work with the backs?
Yes, sir.
You mentioned Marcus and AD as people that you learned a lot from last year. What is it that you felt like you took from Marcus's game specifically?
I'll say catching the ball where the play needs to be, especially on third downs. I know last year I made some plays on third downs, and even this past weekend. So I definitely learned a lot from Marcus doing that at practice every day, and I kind of like just took advantage of that.
More questions? Okay.
Thanks, Dillon.
No problem.